Why is Michelle Obama continuing to disrespect her husband, Barack Obama? For someone who claims to dislike politics and the public spotlight, but for the past few months she has been doing and saying a lot, suggesting her marriage is in trouble, then she backtracks on those actions, and I doubt Obama appreciates his wife constantly airing out grievances against their marriage to the public. What happens when the fairy tale couple of modern politics starts to sound a little too real? For decades, Michelle and Barack Obama have been the absolute gold standard for relationship goals. From their time as the ultimate power couple in the White House, they've been seen as a perfect team, always supporting each other with grace and unity. But lately, Michelle herself seems to be flipping the script. What's the real reason Michelle Obama seems to be publicly dissing her husband? The truth is a lot more complicated and a lot more interesting than you might think. If skipping events raised eyebrows, Michelle's own words raised them even higher. The former First Lady has been on something of a truth-telling tour, openly discussing the less rosy parts of her marriage, a stark contrast to the polished, no-drama Obama image of years past. Perhaps the most jarring example came in late 2022 when Michelle straight up admitted, "There were 10 years where I couldn't stand my husband." Yes, you read that right. The woman married to Barack Obama, a man idolized for his charm and poise, said there was a full decade where she could not stand him. And that hasn't been her only frank remark. In June 2025, Michelle jokingly declared she's glad she never had a son because any boy of hers would have been a Barack Obama. That was yet another not so subtle dig, implying that living with Barack isn't exactly a cakewalk, and she wouldn't wish a duplicate of him on herself or her hypothetical son. And that was when I lost all respect for this unfortunate looking woman. Don't forget to like this video, share and subscribe, or stay delulu. If frank talk about marriage was generating chatter, a flirty off-the-cuff joke from Michelle made things uncomfortable. In May 2025, Michelle had Brian Chesky, the billionaire co-founder and CEO of Airbnb, as a guest on her podcast Laughing. She blurted out, "I have to say, Brian, if I'm a single girl out there and I find out that Brian Chesky is single and I can stay in his house, have you ever..." Michelle even said, "If I had a son, I'd want my son to be Brian." Bitch, is you cool? You want your son to be Brian and upstart, but not your husband? Cancel that hoe now. The divorce rumors that had been bubbling all year suddenly boiled over. "She's dropping divorce hints like breadcrumbs," one Twitter user exclaimed, reacting to Michelle's flirty banter. Another sniped that she is one step away from being single. What is going on with her? The media frenzy that followed these incidents painted Michelle in an unflattering light in some corners, calling her ungrateful and disrespectful. And she is. From their perspective, if it wasn't for Barack, Michelle wouldn't even be in the spotlight. So why, they argued, was she seemingly dissing the man who helped make her a household name? This sentiment has been echoed in countless social media posts and commentaries, with critics essentially saying, "Know your place, Michelle." Skipping events that honor other presidents and, by extension, snubbing her husband's peers, publicly venting about marital struggles, and joking about being single. These moves make Michelle Obama look like she's forgetting that she rose to prominence as Barack Obama's wife. She should show more solidarity and gratitude rather than airing dirty laundry or fantasizing, even in jest, about other arrangements. "And I know that about him. He knows that about me," she said confidently. Now she's sounding like Will and Jada, oh Lord. And the delusional one, Meghan Markle, aka this one's wife, shout out to HG Tudor. Barack openly acknowledged that his political career demanded a lot of his family. He joked that by the time he left the White House, he was in a deep deficit with my wife, and that he's been trying to dig himself out of that hole by making more time for fun with her. Contrast that with Barack Obama's own public statements about Michelle over the years, and a striking imbalance emerges. The 44th president has been nothing if not gracious and adoring when speaking of his wife. In fact, Barack often seems astonished by his good fortune in marrying Michelle. "I won the lottery that day," he gushed on their 30th anniversary, calling her the ideal partner. He routinely refers to Michelle as his rock, the bedrock of his life and career. Michelle, take heed. Do not let narcissism, pretentious pride, or any delusions of grandeur fool you into thinking you can do better than the man you already have. Barack Obama, that polished, decent, intelligent gentleman by your side, is about as good as it gets. He has stood by you through storm and shine. He has kept your secrets, absorbed your frustrations, even a decade of being unbearable to you, and never once publicly disparaged you, given your reputed temper. We can only imagine the tales he could tell if he chose to. He won't tell them because that's the caliber of man he is. So, a bit of unsolicited advice from this narrator: count your blessings. The next time vanity or irritation tempts you to forget Barack's value, remember the reality. This is the man who has championed you at every turn, the partner who has treated you with respect and admiration even in your hardest moments. Such loyalty and class are precious. Don't let any personal pride or resentment blind you to that fact. In the grand theater of American public life, you and Barack have been an iconic power couple, but it's his quiet dignity and your moments of indignation that have written this plot. Learn from it. Do not take Barack Obama for granted. After all, as even you once acknowledged in a candid moment, I would take 10 bad years over 30. Look at what you have, Michelle, and realize that in the story of Michelle Obama versus Barack's grace, Barack has shown up every time as the better angel. It would be wise, not to mention deeply dramatic in the best way, for you to meet his decency with a bit more of your own. The world is watching, and this final act is yours to script. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below letting me know your thoughts. Like, share, follow, and hit the bell for new content. Bye.